Hello, beautiful people. It's Sindafam. Welcome to the channel. Today we're back again with another video, still about Diddy. And yeah, we're gonna check this video together. It is from the channel T Mastermind, and the title is quite interesting. It reads, "He tried exposing Diddy 24 years ago." Wow. So yeah, we're gonna check this together, and I would love your thoughts and your contribution at the end of the video. Let's dive right in.
Then they bring me to the back room. And in the back room, they have this long table with a white sheet set out. I mean, beautiful thing. Looked like the damn Last Supper. On one end is Derek Jeter, just Sindafam Marbury. It's not that, the rapper. That's not it. That's a misconception. What it is, it's about control. See, that's what makes it, that's why you see, like, wow, Jamie Foxx, you would say that? Because they're in a bond, because see, Jay-Z's not, but once you reach a certain level, you have to give something up.
And yeah, the control part, yeah, that's true. For lots of people who's held power or who's got power for a really, really long time, you see, lots of people who's hold power today or who holds power today is about control. Lots of them, majority of the time, they are control freaks, and it's just a quest and thirst for power. They just can't imagine not being in control. They just can't imagine not holding the power to control things or move things the way they want. Control. And sometimes it's not even really like, let's just go.
Something that you're going to give up, because you got to be down with that crew. And how do I know? Because it happened to me. That is why I'm standing here talking right now. I reached a certain level in that station. What I'm saying, what's happened is it was passed down to to everyone in the urban industry. So now you have a rapper who will get turned out by a high-ranking label exec, because, well, what you gonna do? I mean, if I want to be a rapper and I walk in and the label exec tells me that this is what I need to do for him because, hey, he put my album on when I really wasn't that talented, but they pushed me because they saw that I was something that they could sell. So when you bring me in a room and there's my favorite rapper right there who's in the same room, so that must mean he must have committed the same act as I did. So at the end of the day, depending on where your level is within yourself, you go do it. And it's easy for those of us to sit back and say we wouldn't do it, but the majority of us will never fulfill our dreams, so we'll never be in a position.
And think about what they make them do. How they sell their souls to the devil in Hollywood. And it's common practice. And it's funny how when some of them come to share it or some of them come to speak about it or talk about it in that context or like try to say, okay, this is what they made them do and all that, people be like, oh, maybe they're on something, or maybe they are doing drugs and all that, because they don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to know what is going on. And with Hollywood, it is filled with glamour, their glamorous life or glamorized lifestyle. That is why they don't want you to know or see the real thing about in Hollywood, like the demonic things they do.
So at the end of the day, depending on where your level is within yourself, you go do it. And it's easy for those of us to sit back and say we wouldn't do it, but the majority of us will never fulfill our dreams, so we'll never be in a position to say what we would or would not do. You understand what I'm saying? We'll never be in that position, because before I got there, I would say the same thing until I got there. You understand? So I literally lived the devil taking me to the mountain and saying, you can go to the left, you have all of this. And I was there. It was ritualistically done. 3 straight weekends. They do everything in threes. 3 weekends in a row. Hey, D-Brad, let's go hang out. And every weekend, he kept beating me in the head. Get rid of this Rap City, man. You can do more than Rap City, D-Brad. You can do more than you can come with us. We go to the joint, we hanging in VIP. Get me everything I want. Then every time we hung out, it was the same way. Then they bring me to the back room. And in the back room, they have this long table with a white sheet set out. I mean, beautiful thing. Looked like the damn Last Supper. On one end is Derek Jeter, just Sindafam Marbury. I'm trying to talk to the model chicks. He's like, nah, D-Brad, come on, sit right here. We get inside the limo. We're in the car. The man standing across looking at me like I owe him something now. And while he's doing that, he's sitting there with his legs spread open, rubbing his. Now, I'm in a situation where I'm like, no, what am I going to do for you? So for me, I had to turn that away. But with the hell that I caught after that, I've been homeless. I've had my name destroyed. I was ashamed of myself. I went.
Say this. Say this. And there was a particular video I saw where somebody talked about like how some of these Hollywood actors, married and unmarried ones, most especially married ones, how they go through rounds sleeping with different spouses or each other's people, whatever, someone else's wife is sleeping with someone else's husband. It's more like a routine and all that where they do, and it's fun, and they are most likely recorded. So, like you see, sometimes you see some of them get this huge role that you did not even expect, or they may not never have, and all that. That's why sometimes, like the bodyguards know a lot. Like, so lots of things that happens in Hollywood, but we will never know because they are told not to share or not to talk about it. And anybody who eventually comes out to talk about it or talks about the things that happens or they do in Hollywood, they tend to they seem to label that person to be doing drugs. Why is that? That's a question I have. Why is that? Why do they think that if you say something about the things that happen in Hollywood, they just label you to be doing drugs like automatically? That's just it. Why is that? But again, this is wild.
He's like, nah, D-Brad, come on, sit right here. We get inside the limo. We're in the car. The man standing across looking at me like I owe him something now. And while he's doing that, he's sitting there with his legs spread open, rubbing his... Now, I'm in a situation where I'm like, no, what am I going to do for me? So for me, I had to turn that away. But with the hell that I caught after that, I've been homeless. I've had my name destroyed. I was ashamed of myself. I went from being a man to nothing because I would not cross over.
What's up, y'all? It is T Master, my man. So this one is very interesting. This one is very interesting. It's the first in a long time since I've heard someone really went this deep. And he went deep very, very smartly, where he said a lot without even saying a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you're hearing the truth, it's like you already know it. You know, when you're hearing those conspiracies, it's like, oh, you got doubts. But the way how he explained his experience, it sounds so real. It sounds like something that, you know, is not just too good to be true, but true. And he was like one of the first whistleblowers, you know, way before Jogo Wright and Cat Williams, you know, all these recent people coming out. And it's funny now, man. The message back in the days he was sending is so relevant today. That's to show you how long they've been hiding all these secrets. But we're in a time where everything shall be revealed. Everything in the dark shall see the light. You know, it's taking its time. Just, you know, the clock is ticking, you know. And yeah, all we gotta do is just sit back, man, and just survive and live and watch all these stories be told. So it is Team Master, man. Remember, drop a like if you enjoyed this one, if you learned something new. Once again, drop a like and subscribe. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. Thank you for watching. See you all later.
And the truth is, they really don't want you to know who they truly are, because they know if you know or come to learn about who your favorite celebrity truly is, you're never going to look at them the exact same way. You're never going to see them the exact same way, because you're going to look at them like, wait, you mean they've been doing all of these things? But again, because of the glamour they attach to their lifestyle, so they kind of like hide all of this. And that speaks so much volume. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below regarding this. I would love your thoughts and your contribution at the end of the video. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.